Unit 1. Skills Test. Listening. 5.
Morning, Martin. Have you had any thoughts about this innovation meeting we're having later today?
Hi, Tracy. To be honest, it's all I've been thinking about. I've been reading up on some of the possible ways we can help to encourage a culture of innovation in the company, but there seems to be so much information that it's difficult to process all of it.
Do you want to have a chat about it? I could do with some brainstorming myself.
Sure. Initially, the main point of reference I've found is that we need to create an environment that fosters creativity and innovation, thereby overcoming problems. And the best way to do that is to collaborate with our colleagues, both senior and junior.
I see. By collaboration, do you mean meetings and seminars?
Not really. I see meetings as rather one-dimensional. Many people think that meetings are about one person talking at a group of others. What I mean is something like a forum. These forums would stimulate more discussion between colleagues, meaning that employees are more motivated to get involved, and this new culture would catch on. And the forums don't have to take place in a face-to-face situation. There is a whole host of collaboration software out on the market nowadays.
I understand now. By having a group of people working together on coming up with new ideas, then they're more likely to be unorthodox solutions. Of course, not all ideas will be successful, but that's one of the best things about collaboration, because all ideas need to be discussed and evaluated thoroughly, and this would demonstrate great insight into our thought processes. That's called divergent thinking, isn't it?
Yes, I think so. It's important in these forums to allow everybody the opportunity to contribute, because all sides of the conversation are essential to enable further creative thinking. However, we also need to encourage active listening and not just wait for the next opportunity to talk. If we listen actively, then there are more chances to respond accordingly and continue forming ideas and solutions.
I completely agree. Innovation doesn't happen overnight, and it needs time and reflection to be able to grow. I think it's also worthwhile listening and responding to everyone's ideas and to give them feedback, because then all considerations are taken into account. Something else I was going to bring up was training. If we are to expect our employees to fully contribute to new innovative approaches, then we must be able to equip them with the tools, gadgets and high-tech methods to do so. Not only would this give our colleagues the chance to enhance their skills, but it would also demonstrate to them that we are taking this idea of an innovation culture seriously.
Absolutely. It's something I hadn't thought of, but training is certainly something that should be done. One of the biggest barriers to innovation is the fear of failure. If people are afraid to fail, then that stops creativity immediately. What people need to realize is that failures are an exceptional opportunity for learning. Besides, if we don't learn from our mistakes, then we are likely to make them again, and then we face even more problems.
Yes, I think you're right. There needs to be a safe space for experimentation, and that can be achieved through the forums. The last thing that I thought about was incentives and compensation. If we're asking our employees to work together to come up with new ideas, then surely we need to re-evaluate our incentive scheme. We want to challenge our colleagues to dream up new ideas and new ways of working, and they need to have an incentive. Otherwise, there would be little point in asking them to collaborate on new ways to improve how we work.
That's what happened in my last company. Innovation was happening, but it was so slow because the incentives weren't there, and my colleagues were not motivated to make any changes because they would still receive the same compensation. I know it's not something that we can implement right away, but I think we should strongly recommend a restructuring to a system whereby we